Welcome back to Mega Man 04. Last time we took down a big drill, and this time we have to take down a far more powerful force, magnets. So unsurprisingly, the ever-so-rare lightning storm weather effect is the one we'll be playing with today because it is the harder version of the stage. I'm gonna be honest, this one's actually kind of a toss-up. Honestly, we'll see it a little bit in the grinding session we do after this stage, but yeah, honestly, I actually kind of prefer the lightning version. I know I had an entire episode where I complained about how I don't like that it's kinda dumb that you get docked mission points for doing the smart thing. But for some levels, I think the weather effect is negligible, so from a gameplay perspective, it's not so bad. And then for this stage, I genuinely just think it's better to play with the weather effect. Obviously, there are some downsides. You see the background here. The waves are going downwards, which means there's a magnetic force going against us, making it harder to jump. When it's going up, though, we get to jump higher. And honestly, this just feels way better. Yeah, so if you play without the current weather effect, current weather effect because this is lightning. Yeah, you don't get the cool jumps there. You still get this gimmick, though. Basically, you go into little tubes, and they will change your color, and if there's one thing you know about magnets, it's probably that opposites attract, and then the same polarity will repel. This is true for both the floors and the enemies. There's not a lot of things you can do about the enemies since both are present no matter what, but you do want to be the same color as the floor so you can jump higher. Now, this will still be in effect even if you do have the lightning storm weather active. So you do have to deal with some magnet gimmicks, just not all of them. But yeah, I wouldn't quite call this my favorite stage, because there are parts of it that annoy me, but in terms of weather effects, I do actually kind of like this one for being the rare situation where I guess it does make sense that the boss would want the magnets active, but I, the player, also want magnets to be active, because they're just kind of fun. What isn't fun, though, is this big crab. Right, so he's another mini-boss that has options, which means, yeah, you can't really kill him too quickly, and not only that, he's got two options. That's right, blue crabs and red crabs, or pink crabs, I guess. So make sure you get one of each, cause yeah, otherwise you have to come back to this stage, although, in fairness, I already have to come back here. So, unless I got particularly unlucky in a second bout, it wouldn't have been a problem if I'd missed things, but nonetheless, the faster I get to kill the mini-boss, the better, because I feel like a lot of the time, that is what kills my time score. I say kills my time score. It's not like they've been horrendous except that one time, but I've never gotten, like, an entire letter grade lower for it. Well, I mean, actually, technically I have, because, you know, it goes from S to A pretty quickly, but I haven't gone from A to B. I haven't gotten, the shameful rank of the Zero series, which is anything B or under. You thought the American grading system was bad before? Oh buddy, if you don't get high grades in Zero, you're just gonna feel so bad about yourself. You're gonna want to repeat that entire stage, just for that. Anyway, we are already at the boss. So like I said, I don't know if I'd call this my favorite stage. And you know what doesn't help? The boss of the stage. So of course, we've got Minos here. We already saw his whole gimmick, which is that he talks very slowly. which makes me think he's making fun of me. I don't have that many ellipses when I talk Minos. Just my brain and my speech don't happen at the same time. I have to do one or the other. Alright, so Minos. He will try to change your polarity, which definitely makes the fight a little harder, because he's going to be drawing you in easier. He's also going to be picking up some debris from the field. He actually has a couple different variations of this magnetic attack, though this is the one I prefer having to deal with, because it's just easier to dodge his shots. And then there's this attack, which isn't even his EX attack. I actually had to learn this one because he never had a fight where he didn't use it, and it sucks to deal with. It ruined so many fights, so yeah, even though I do have a double jump, I showed the specific path I had to take in order to not get my face just crushed by him as he does his whole thing. It's a very particular pattern, and none of the limbs really move like you would expect them to. Also, what do you mean 18 points? I feel like I did pretty well. I didn't even stop for anything. I did pretty well against the boss. I didn't mess around with the polarity in the second section. What did you want from me? Anyway, though, speaking of not stopping in that stage, that means there are a bunch of things that I still need to get, so... Ciel is proud of us, that's nice. We do have to go back in. And of course, I do want to use automatic charging. Alright, let's go in. Let's do the thing. Alright, so, cloudy weather. Not stormy, cloudy. There's no lightning happening, it's just overcast, which means the stage doesn't really look that different. It just doesn't have its cool lightning effects. And yeah, no, we don't get to jump higher or anything, so... yeah, it kinda sucks. Honestly. We do get that cool, like, overcast look that I love and hate, because... it looks neat when they're really dark clouds, but also, I have SAD, so like, if the sun's not out, my brain's like, yeah, that's great, I'm going to function less now, thanks. And I'm just like, brain, I've got enough of that going on as is. Can you please just not require solar power to function properly? Anyway, yeah, we've got to get apart from each type of little hopping dudes. Refight the mini-boss, cause it's there. And thankfully, the V-Fencer did drop his material very quickly, which means we're done here. So yeah, short stage, and thankfully it didn't take too long to get the materials. Honestly, the hopping dudes definitely, were not fun to get, but, hey, we can forge some things first. So, right, we're gonna start with... Corpse. Auto recover 3. So yeah, just do lesser versions of those with fewer of those materials. I think I did them in such a way that you can assume that the last material you see is the one you don't need to make a lesser version, but you might want to double check on the internet just in case. Anyway, I'm getting junk parts, and there's a reason for that. So, in this game there are 3 different junk equipments, and they might sound pretty bad because they're made of junk, and that's because they are bad. So you remember Protoform in 02? The form you get if you want to make the game harder? Yeah, if you equip all 3 junk parts, then 0 is just worse at everything. Honestly, I think if you want a harder version of the game, you could probably just play hard mode and you get most of those effects anyway, but if you want a hard mode in your normal mode, I guess there you go. Also, if you're wondering, yes, you can make junk just by making anything that doesn't make an actual part. So, you know, just take whatever material you have a lot of. You only need 2, don't waste any more than that. And you've got junk for the junk parts in case, again, you want to make the game harder. But I don't, so next time we're just going to continue playing the game normally.